Okay. And there we go. Hello. So I've updated. Yeah, I've updated my Patreon poll. I've eliminated free game heroes and re um, allocated some of the funds, which is probably what I'm going to be doing in the future. For if I start playing a game and then I just sort of don't get into it. Um, but Undertale is now on the list for Patreon. And the way my Patreon works is that you donate whatever the heck you want, and that goes toward um, a kind of poll where basically gets the most funding gets played first. And my current idea is that's going to be alternating, but that's kind of not panned out exactly. But like the games on the list, I'm going to be playing them whenever. At the very least, I will be playing them in order of whichever one got the most funding, and then so on down the line. And hopefully, by the time I get to Undertale, it will have at least $10 in funding. And if, as far as whether or not I'll be able to complete it, I am giving some strong consideration to um, using a save editor to give myself the Temmie armor. Because a lot of people have, like, from my research, I've heard that a lot of people consider that to be the only viable way to have an easy mode, or the closest equivalent to an easy mode. So I think all of the systems that don't have quests in them are 100%ed, so oh, hey Ellie. Hey, Ellie. I might just go ahead and do this loyalty mission. This is a fun one.
You clean up well, Mr. Solomon Gunn. Hawk won't know what hit him.
I assume Solomon Gunn is my cover?
You run a small but talented band of mercs out in the Terminus systems. Precisely the type of person Hawk respects. I took the liberty of giving you a reputation. Papers, witnesses, article in Badass Weekly. Just don't start talking business with him, and you'll be fine.
Remind me, what kind of man are we dealing with?
Hawk's a weapons dealer and smuggler. He killed my partner and stole his gray box. Other than that, he's not so bad. Rich, charismatic, willing to crack open a man's skull to get at the neural implants inside.
I take it I'm wearing this getup for a reason.
You'd look really out of place at a society party in armor, don't you think? You look great. You should
Yeah.
wear this stuff more often.
Now's probably a good time to fill me in on the details.
You have been waiting patiently. Our friend Hawk is throwing a party for his closest friends. A couple dozen of the worst liars, cheaters, and mass murderers you'll ever want to meet. All bringing gifts as a tribute to the man himself.
Oh, his hair is shiny.
Our tribute is a lovely statue of your old friend Saren, rendered with loving detail and filled to the brim with our weapons and armor. You can keep your pistol as long as it's concealed. They won't hassle you over a sidearm. Once inside, we'll make our way to Hawk's vault door, somewhere in the back of the ballroom. Then, we case the security and start peeling away the layers. The statue should be there, waiting for you to crack it open and arm up. Then we just waltz into the vault and take back KG's gray box. And I'll finally get a chance to say goodbye.
You've worked really hard on this. KG must have meant a lot to you.
Was I that obvious?
Yeah,
KG's gray
gonna
box
take some
holds a lot
notes
of priceless personal memories.
on this mission from memory.
But the secret
Even now I have a kitty on my lap.
dangerous. I wouldn't bring you here if it wasn't.
I don't mind. Yeah.
This ought to be interesting.
That's what I'm going for.
But anyway, for the record, I was going to note that this quest really balances elements from.
After you, Mr. Gunn.
Just one moment, sir. There seems to be an issue with the statue.
Is there a problem here?
No, Mr. Hawk. Just doing a scan.
I'll mention it once this is done.
I don't believe we've met. Donovan Hawk.
Solomon Gunn. A pleasure.
Sir, the scanners aren't picking anything up.
I don't think our guests would come all the way here from Ilium just to cause trouble. Do you? You may pass through, Mr. Gunn, with my apologies. But I will ask your companion to remain outside. You understand, I hope.
Care to explain why my friend has to stand outside?
I don't like the look of your friend, so she stays outside. Simple as that.
No problem. You're the host.
Enjoy the party.
Well, that didn't go as I expected.
Okay, so this quest really, from memory anyway, it really feels like it's balancing between what we get from a quest like Samara's, which we haven't done yet, but I remember it pretty well, and a quest like maybe Miranda's. like that, is more heavy on combat. And I think, Garrus might be another one that's very, like, just investigation and story and fairly light on combat. I remember that Fane might have some combat. I can't remember. Really? You're just being so cute. Are you interjecting your own points? But you've never played this game before. Sure if you were around when I last played it. Yeah. Actually, I'm fairly certain you weren't, because I wasn't even in this apartment the last time I played it, so. I don't think you were even born yet. Hey. Hey. You lure me in with your cuteness, and then you betray me.
Any idea why he'd send you away?
No, we've never seen
I hope
each other
the
in person,
mic is
and no one
picking up
knows
her
what he looked
meows.
like. Just watching his ass, I'm sure. I can't blame him.
The camera is certainly picking up her cuteness.
What do we do now?
We go on with the plan. You'll just have to do all the talking. I'll stay out of sight and stick with you the best I can. We'll keep radio contact in case something goes wrong. We need to find the door and case the security. We'll figure out the next step then.
How did you ever contain that situation in Olive?
Oh, that? A quick application of force, a little pressure, and bam, done.
Thank goodness. I thought those rabble would dog you for years.
And it seems like they toned down the lens flare in certain areas and and cranked it up for others.
That goes to a security room. We'll probably have to get in there at some point.
Some say Commander Shepard is still alive. Really?
Oh, please. It's wishful thinking at best.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite party in the Citadel. I don't think you're fooling anyone with that.
What's your read on that Archangel guy?
I hear he's dead. Or gone, or something. Good riddance, I say.
Well, I need to get the mic closer to you so they can really hear your meows. Well, your meows are just for me? Okay. No way we can stick out of that party. This place is locked down tight, and Security Chief Rose is in charge. No way Rose that get past her. I'd rather stand around bored on guard duty than risk her wrath. Sorry. Samuels.
She sounds like a hard ass. If we could tap into the guard's communication Mr. Hawk's vault is exquisite.
Who could know? He never lets anyone near it. Say, what's that over there?
Hawk's bedroom, I believe.
Wow, who's his architect? This is a very impressive place.
Or a very large one, at least.
Hawk's private rooms are off limits without proper clearance.
I'm dying to get in there, but we have to scope out the vault first. Very nice. There's more here than I expected. Password-protected voice lock, kinetic barrier, DNA scanner. Looks like an EX700 series. Everything a vault needs to be impenetrable.
This gonna be a problem?
Please, remember who you're talking to. We'll need to get a voice sample for the voice lock. You'll have to go chat up Hawk for that. We'll have to find a password too. DNA, child's play. We should find plenty of DNA samples in Hawk's private quarters. And the barrier? Cut the power. Never fails. If we can find it. KG could get through a system like this in his sleep. And I'm better. Let's get to it. It looks like the barrier's power cable runs under the floor here. I'll set your Omni tool to scan for electromagnetic fields.
It's just pretty cool.
One sec. That should take care of the barrier.
And autosaves. Nice.
There he is. All you need to do is keep him talking long enough for me to get a voice print. Pull out the charm on this one, Chet. Whenever you're ready. After you.
Mr. Gunn, hope you're having a good time. That scene at the door hasn't soured your evening, I hope.
I understand the security, but who would dare try to break into Donovan Hawk's home?
Gunn, in our line of work, we attract a certain element. Few understand the pains we take to keep the barbarians at bay. People these days want comfort, entertainment, love. They don't see that the galaxy is fragile. They only have to worry about simple luxuries. Why? Because people like me and you are doing the terrible things that keep the galaxy spinning. This party is for us, the cleaners, the support structure for the galaxy's gleeful delusions of peace. May there always be a market for the things we do.
I said get him talking, and you got him talking. We've got enough of a voice sample. Let him go.
Enjoy the party, Mr. Gunn.
Once we find the password, we can get past the voice scanner.
Also, seeing how as I don't have anyone supporting me on Patreon currently, and I'm kind of fickle, I guess. Really? I think I mentioned it before. I reserve the right to basically, well, particularly play a game on the list anyway, regardless of whether it, particularly if it hasn't received funding. So you're kind of as incentivized to not fund it as you are to fund it. That's the beauty of it, I guess.
Look for anything we can get usable DNA from. Just make it quick and quiet.
No hair, no skin flakes.
The housekeepers must be thorough.
Good morning. Time to wake up.
Damn.
Get back.
What? Who?
Now you see me.
Well, we have to take care of those sooner or later.
More
So
out there?
It's clean.
It's a plant. Found a sample?
No, a credit chit.
Empty. Too bad. A cigarette butt would have been a good source. No DNA, but looks like Hawk's been trying to crack KG's gray box. Looks like he's missing something. He hasn't cracked the encryption yet. Not a great saliva sample, but it's still useful. We're going to need more than this for the scanner, though.
Holographic interface. Won't find a sample here.
good description project update. Little progress to report. We had not completed dictionary attacks using words and phrases from 4,800 galactic languages. Research into the Yakuda family has not produced any matches. It is unlikely that a random brute force approach will produce a result within our lifetimes. Given the nature of the gray box technology, it's possible that the encryption key may not be a password at all. It could be memory, an emotion, even a smell. The permutations could be infinite. I suggest that we begin investigating alternative methods for breaking through the security of the box.
We can probably get Hawk's DNA off the data pad. He seems to have obsessed over this. But I'm not sure there's enough. Let's keep looking. The cleaners don't dare touch treasures like this. We can get some skin cells from the dust. That should do it. Let's get out of here.
In fact, it's possible I may remove it from the list just by default, considering that I'm considering doing it, making it a quasi cheat run. Oh, good, the security guard isn't here anymore.
Let me unlock that security room door for you. There we go.
But I can't do the bypass minigame? That's all I live for.
Ready when you are.
Okay, I can bypass this one for.
You can't be back here.
Take him down.
Up ahead. I have an idea. See what you can find.
Mainly I put Undertale on the list because that was the first thing that sprung to mind. I had that problem too. So many passwords around here. Can't keep them straight. The password for tonight is Perugia. It's not even that easy to remember. It's no big deal. The voice scanner means the password's only useful to Hawk anyway. I'll just party. Want to grab some beers? Let me know.
Got something?
The password is Perugia.
Huh.
A Perugia.
That's the name of the man who stole the Mona Lisa. Nice. Now, I just take the voice sample we got from Hawk and... got it. Now we can crack that voice scanner. That got it. The barrier's down.
Password required.
Perugia.
Voice ID accepted. Welcome, Mr. Hawk. DNA identification affirmed. Welcome, Mr. Hawk.
I'll check for security cams. Go ahead and get dressed.
Hope we know he's checking the security cam until after she makes it cloaker.
So this is Hawk's vault. Very nice. This scanner will hone in on the gray box. It's not far. Creepy.
Oh, perfect.
get money for something like this, even outside the Alliance. Asari go nuts for this sort of thing. How did Hawk get Lady Liberty's head? Damn you, Hawk!
I wonder if that's meant to be some sort of Deus Ex reference a little bit.
A model of the Kara. It's like a Turian Titanic, the way I hear it. Wow. Imagine that thing coming at you in a dark alley.
The Mass Effect and Phaedos exist within the Mass Effect universe confirmed.
This is nice. Oddly relaxing.
It'd actually be an interesting game.
I feel like its eyes are following me. Yikes. That's impressive. Not sure what it is, though. This looks like Quarian script. Wow. This has got to be old. When was the last time the Quarians wrote on stone? Michelangelo's David. Just... wow. Think we could get this out through the door? Hawk has good taste. I'll give him that. Ugh. Rachni Queen. I guess everything's valuable to someone. Doesn't look like much, but that might be one of the most valuable pieces here. Turian art is rare outside of Palavin. For good reason, I say.
Look at this.
This is nice. Oddly relaxing.
How do we get the
Oh my god. There it is.
Don't bother, Miss Goto. It's code locked. I had a feeling that was you at the door. I knew if it was really you, you'd get through anyway.
You know me. I don't like to disappoint.
I need what's in your grey box, Kasumi. You know I'm willing to kill you for it. I'll admit your skills are impressive. You got into my vault like I'd left it open, but you're still going to die, screaming, just like your... No!
Have I got your attention?
I like
That shut him up.
I don't like speeches.
Kill them!
Okay, can I grab that weapon?
Here they come.
This might be useful.
Cloaking.
Hey, you stole my kill.
Can't target them. Can't go to war.
target them.
Can't get a lock.
Checking blueprints. There's a landing pad to the east. Let's get out of here.
Joker, bring the shuttle in, now!
Oh, we can't look at these. Need to. Where did Ellie knock it off to? Not quite. Not a bunch of pencils. Oh. Hey, Ellie. Speaking of Ellie. There we go. Having finished it already has a positive information. I can't save. I did this last time, so I'm not sure. I can see if there isn't like any other lockers or anything. There's a mini Mass Effect field thing, and there's a bunch of like copies of. He has 2 of them. Copies of some of the other stuff you can find over here. It's a little lazy, but I mean. It's really into statues of Krogans, clearly.
way.
Damn it. Just missed it.
Safety's on. Taking cover.
It'll take heavier weapons than that to blow those. Now you see me. Have you been thinking?
Grabbing cover.
Me? That got it.
Don't let them out of there with my property.
It's kind of hilarious that a thief refers to things they stole as their property. Are you a dwarf? In my campaign setting, then no, we can't refer to it as your property.
Someone's coming.
Solomon, bring the girl to me.
You hear that? Watch her.
Now you see me.
Ooh.
Focus.
There they are.
murderer. Now you see me.
Can't target them.
Need some cover.
Going dark.
Can't get along.
Down you go.
This should come in handy.
I probably could hit for there.
Keep them busy. I'll take care of this myself.
Going silent.
Can't target them. Can't reach them.
Well, that's. Who would? I do. I imagine that some video games have the Wilhelm scream. It'd be funny if they like just snuck it in for like biotics. Just as like a random sound, like a 1 in 20 or something like that. Every now and like. "Hoo-rah!" Am I supposed to pay attention to you or something? Where is this platinum? There it is. Lost bell time.
Get down.
Could have done this the easy way, Gold.
Allow me to show you the hard way.
Look left.
Oh, he recharges his shield. Damn it.
They're to our left.
Our left. What do you mean left? It's right, right?
Lay down your weapons.
Gunship's back and with full shield. If I can get to the ship, I can take down the shield.
A
ahead.
Really, using recharge shields is kind of cheating, but like it's.
On our left. Cloaking.
What did you tell your friend, Kazu? You're doing this for love?
Shepard, I need a clear path to the gun. Take out these guards. Got a clear shot. Here we go.
Black Widow, Andy.
Tear that thing apart.
Even if you escape, I'll scour the galaxy for you.
We've got company. Going dark. Look left.
Where the heck are the power cells?
Careful, men. What the keeper pretty face detect.
What? I didn't quite catch that. What? What were you about to say?
Kasumi, if you're seeing this, it's because I'm dead. The information we found is all here. It's big, Kasumi. If the Council ever got wind of this, the Alliance could be implicated. Kasumi, I encrypted the information to keep it safe. And I uploaded the encryption key to your gray box, so no one could get the whole package. But if I'm dead, and if anyone knows about this, then I've made you a target, my love. I'm so sorry.
Keiji.
I know you, Kasumi. You'll want to keep these memories forever. But you don't need some neural implant to know I'll always be with you. Please. Kasumi. Destroy these files. There's nothing more I can do to protect you.
I can't do that. This is all that's left.
Goodbye, Kasumi. I love you.
Is there any way we can just destroy the information?
No. Keiji's a master at encrypting files. He laced the information into his memories. You can't get one without experiencing the other.
If it's that important to you, keep it. Just make sure you're ready to live with the consequences.
Yeah, I am. I'll stay off the grid. No one will know I exist. I think I want this. Thanks, Shepard.
Hey, we level up.
No messages for you, Commander.
Nothing new from them, okay.
Hey, Shepard. I really appreciate your help with the Hawk heist. I've been going through Keiji's gray box. It's so nice to have him back. Even in that form, I miss him. I have to say, that Jacob? He seems pretty intense. I wonder if he likes Japanese girls with a penchant for kleptomania.
Okay, she said that regardless of whether we're male or female.
Joker and Edie are like an old married couple. I keep expecting to walk in on them bickering about the temperature in the cockpit.
Like, what am I, a chopped liver?
Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
I need to change my outfit. I am not comfortable in this. I'm pretty sure the Shepherd might not be comfortable in it either, but or Zonder Shepherd might not be. She's probably more comfortable. I mean, we could see me be ignoring me this much if I look like this. I could go for a hoodie. Just for a change of pace. More closely match me. But it's probably way too warm to be wearing it. Maybe I should really postpone Mass Effect 3 until I can comfortably wear my Mass Effect hoodie. Like, play Ribbon and then play, So I think we're probably gonna do Garrus's, since we're kind of in the neighborhood. I'm not sure about Fane's. Oh, Fane's is kind of fun too, I think. Well, there is an abandoned station in the Eagle Nebula. It would be an unfinished. That's interesting. He hasn't leveled up. I thought everyone levels up at once. That's kind of weird.
The council thought that Blasto, the first NR Spectre, would play by the rules.
This one has forgotten whether its heat sink is over capacity. It wonders whether the criminal scum considers itself fortunate.
They were wrong.
Are you shorting
This one doesn't have time for your solid waste excretions.
If this is the best you have, I'll make do. But you're certain the neural stimulators are compatible with both my suit and Asari physiology?
I wish there was fast travel on here too.
Sounds like an awful thing to legalize.
All the dangers are right there on the package. It's legally required.
Eclipse might be fun for you. For me, it's the future. My clan's breeding strategy is at stake.
And it's only the 3 out of 5.
Think about anything besides breeding.
Don't even start with me. Her first mate, your father, he got her things when he traveled.
It's not a competition, Dad.
You don't even really remember him. And she found me after he died. And I'm almost 35.
Hey, I remember him. And I want to remember you. That's why I came on this trip.
You're sure gateway weapons and armor are good enough for Eclipse?
Yeah, I've got a friend in Eclipse. She told me what I needed to get.
Good. I'm pretty good at bypassing firewalls. Maybe they're looking for techs.
Sometimes you say these things, and I don't know. Maybe it's because you had a Batarian father.
Wow, you're pulling that on me?
Yeah, like, what? Ow. Ow. Pause.
The word you're looking
I'll pause.
To an authorized dealer for a refund, or for credit toward the exciting new Koros brand radiation personal defense weapon. Customer safety is important. Koros remains committed to providing the best.
Hey, I gotta get back to work.
Then come to the Fish Dog Food Shack. Tasty fare and skewers are just 5 credits for a limited time. Or for the connoisseur, try our grade A Tachanka raised Baron steaks. Turian and
How can you short sell on prefabs after these human colony attacks? They're going to see a ton of business.
I can't believe how lovely your scalp looks. Mine is so gangly and asymmetrical. You want to know a secret? I had it done a few years back. Galactic Beauty Solutions. You should really give them a call. You know, I'm convinced that you
Where's the one cutscene we can't skip? The only upgrade we don't have, at least of the ones that are shown, is the assault rifle. We're checking with Liara if we can remember where she is. Why is it always showing that every time I come here? Cool. I think that's weird. If Blue says whip up an advertising campaign to counter your bad press. The Karshon nations have acquired WMDs and tipped the balance in their favor. And half of them succeed, half of them fail.
glad you came.
As you requested, I have acquired the soul name for the leader of the Hanar's Enkindler religion. Omega. Emily Wong, Citadel.
I don't think we ever actually get to meet ME2 Wong in person in this game, which is kind of a shame.
Fred Mazai, Citadel. Donnell Udina, Citadel. Armando Bailey, Citadel. David Anderson, Citadel.
Or if that would even be a thing if we had refused to make him a counselor. It's not really much matter of refusing it, but just if we made him counselor instead of Odina.
Kalisa bint Sinan Al-Jilani, Citadel.
Oh boy. Oh. Okay. It's funny, like they were like kissing for a moment, then like suddenly crunch.
Keeper 20, Citadel.
Keep her being like experimented on, or it's like in a
Matriarch Atheta, Ilium. Erdnot Torsk, Tachanka.
oh. He's gonna give.
Elias Kellum, Citadel. Lazarus Research Station, ship now defunct.
Wish the audio wasn't so distorted.
Garrus Vicarian, Omega. Arya Talok, Omega.
I really wish that the Shadow Rover base wasn't so out of the way. Like you had to use fuel every time you, and quite a substantial amount of fuel to even get to her and back. Not sure if it's like I wouldn't call it a negative because I think it may be something of a deliberate design choice. I mean, a deliberate design choice can still be bad. Like the durability in the durability system in Breath of the Wild is a deliberate design choice. Doesn't make it good. Well, yeah, here's a recent purchase. I finally have every single Zelda amiibo, or not like Zelda series, but Zelda character amiibo. I'm missing 9 of them, and 8 of them are Link. Of course, I have the actual game. Not sure when I'm gonna play it. I also have a ton of basically a full set of amiibo cards, which at this point is mainly just for convenience sake. And the fact that most of the amiibos, actually all the amiibos I have, don't have, are currently out of print. So, and therefore, I'm able to procure them at retail price in a way that will actually benefit Nintendo anyway. So, let's get our Overload squad out here. And my suggestion, we have cut power to all systems, save critical life support, in hopes that disabling these systems will deny the VI the resources that she needs to kill us. This is a temporary solution, but cannot last this out on our own. Dr. Godwin, my firm belief is that the VI is paranoid about the possibility of infection. Its current homicidal behavior is likely out of an inflated desire to keep us from shutting it down. I believe that the VI is malfunctioning and that it believes our equipment is to be infected by a virus. If we continue to try to shut her down, she will keep trying to destroy us. Maybe our only recourse is to just do nothing and convince her that we're not a threat. Dr. Towson.
Plasma venting in progress. Attempting to reach the maintenance controls will most likely result in serious injury or death.
Okay, I'm positive that the trouble with our VI started after the chorus got docked with us. Taliesin is looking into the VI itself. In the meantime, I need you to go through the logs and find out everything that was on that ship. Dr. Godwin. Hey, you're supposed to time it correctly.
All attempts to decontaminate station have failed. Require more power to escalate defenses. Maintenance area power restored.
Yeah, it turns off the venting. So far, this is a pretty good mission. I'm not sure what to call it in my notes, though, so... Abandoned research station. I don't think a control positive for the environmental hazards. Like part of the environmental hazards are a extension of the information positive because you can kind of tell that it's time they shut on and off in a certain pattern. But the fact that you can get past them fairly easily once you do figure out the pattern is a control positive. I think any given mission can get like up to one control positive and one information positive, unless it's just exceptional. Power outage detected in the station. Mainframe locked down for security purposes. Okay, so I could have done that even if I wanted to. You can still get a negative for something though. I've already been through here.
Research area power restored. Beam engaged. Testing area has been locked down according to protocol M29-2.
Uh-oh. Well, this could get positive or negative. So this is like an individual access. Probably be. Well, this could be a combination of control and information. Because these are just computer 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how easy is it to... This is probably going to largely depend on information, as puzzles should. Like, I already noted that my review of Myst was largely focused on... I mentioned that, like, Myst, for example, got a lot of information positives and information negatives, and not very many total bullet points on the subject of control, because control is like an incidental part of a given puzzle. Control generally tends to lean toward negative in a way, actually, which is another reason why I would upgrade my review of Myst from a 7 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, because control, when done well, you can kind of take it for granted. When the control is done poorly, it can break a puzzle. So, like, the key to making good puzzle is once you figure out the solution, executing the solution should be relatively easy. If it isn't relatively easy, then that is a negative. If a puzzle has good control, it's kind of a neutral in a way. Like, it's not just a matter of taking good control for granted. It's a matter of it kind of should be good. Like, you should, the step between figuring out the solution and executing the solution should be seamless. It should not be the control shouldn't be working against you. and I'm not sure if this would get a control negative. It could get an information negative, just like up front. But it really depends on just looking at it. Like, right now, I have no idea what any of these computers do. But if using them gives me a good idea of what they do, and their position has like any correlation to how things function, then it isn't just like figuring it out for trial and error. So what does this do?
Reflective armor prototype repositioned.
Okay, so that controls this.
Reflective armor prototype repositioned.
It rotates it.
This reflective armor prototype repositioned.
Okay. So what's our goal? See that glowy thing over there? Okay, so these are relative to...
Reflective armor prototype repositioned.
Okay, so these are kind of relative to...
Reflective armor prototype repositioned.
It's weird it disables the beam.
Reflective armor prototype repositioned. Reflective armor prototype repositioned. Reflective armor prototype repositioned. Testing area has been unlocked.
Okay.
All personnel take this opportunity to leave the station immediately.
How do you give an information positive? To the reflective plate puzzle. Let's call it the R's of the research stations. Learning for the sake of um, thoroughness, I guess, that that the puzzle it isn't really made explicitly clear what the goal is, like what you're aiming for. But the fact that it glows blue kind of indicates it's a visual indicator of its importance, and that maybe you should try aiming for that. You know, like what could possibly go wrong? Have we been to engineering? Yes, we have. So I think we're going this way. I wonder if I can give one information negative to this for it being really easy to get turned around due to the nature of the main corridor. Granted, it does tell you what they are, so I can't really give it an information negative. I'm not necessarily going to give it a positive. Okay, so that's where I mean, this is just me not paying attention. I've been to the research lab, I've been to engineering. What about the living quarters? We are expecting a shipment of mech parts from the Hyundai Kedar facility on Kapak, Haskins Titan Nebula. Make sure the VI knows to accept a docking request from the freighter MSV Corsica. Jennings.
Attention all personnel. A hostile presence has been detected. Please do not interfere with defense procedures. Living area power restored. The living area doors have been closed to quarantine a threat to this station. Advise intruders to engage self-destruct procedures to avoid death by starvation. 2 doors enabled.
Oh boy. Should I give positives or negatives to this puzzle too?
5 doors enabled.
I might just give a... Wow. This is partly a puzzle. Much like Myst, there's a puzzle I've just solved by complete accident. Hey, Ellie.
All intruders intentionally violating quarantine are requested to exit the station immediately. Hub area power restored. Central mainframe access granted. Docked vessel detected. Attempting to upload central programming into docked vessel's mainframe. Intruder detected. You are not authorized to be in this area. This is a secure zone. Please leave this station immediately. I regret to inform you that all attempts to defend the station have failed. Shutting down security protocols.
Yes, so we don't really have any real danger to ourselves.
A new message at your private terminal.
Terms of VI virus detected. Quebec Haskell System Titan Nebula. Data for the quarantined VI at Jerry Station indicates that possible source of the VI virus outbreak in the Honeycator facility on the planet Quebec. Of course, has been downloaded into the Galaxy map. I wonder if we already did that. We may have done this like in reverse. I might expand it to. I'm probably not going to give the other one a negative or a positive or anything. I'm just going to leave it as is.
No messages for you, Commander.
Okay, we haven't done this yet. Well, this is a very simple entire system of just one planet. Element aspect relay.
I have detected an anomaly.
Yes.
Anomaly detected.
Be warned. The experimental mechanics facility is under quarantine. For your safety, do not dock with or land in the vicinity of the facility without the proper protocols and authorizations in place. Be warned. The experimental mechanics facility is under quarantine.
Something on our sensors.
Service scan detects mech production facility matching the registration parameters of the Honey Kedar Corporation. Facility reports emergency lockdown at the location. Personnel scan report no living beings detected. Hazard scan shows a large number of virus-infected mechs quarantined within the facility. Deactivation of the primary production line. Control should disrupt the creation of additional affected mechs. So let's bring who we brought last time. Wasn't even real reason to bring Talia or Miranda last time. Yeah, Talia hasn't gotten any experience either. Weird. Unless there's like a point where if you don't do their... I say, so you shouldn't have overload. I probably should have brought Garrus. Damn it. I'm so used to Mass Effect 1 where she has that's interesting loading screen. Recall notice of the obedience processor. There's how to try to get random. This facility lockdown has been an honor to work with you. Kind of skimming through it. I realize that this will still meet any workers who remain inside both the malfunctioning mechs. This does not affect your orders. Yeah, you might be willing to die, but I'm not sure if your workers are willing to die.
See anyone else here?
We've been spotted.
We're all kamikaze.
This should soften them up.
Can't reach the target. Can't target them.
Backup systems engaged.
One less.
Sleep mode ended.
Can't get a lock. Can't walk in.
Them up.
Can't get a lock.
Rerouting
Can't
power.
reach the
One
target.
less.
Can't target them.
Rerouting power.
Can't get a lock.
This should soften them up.
Requesting assistance. My power forces have engaged.
Trouble to the right.
That's to the left. You meant my other right? Last I checked, I only had one right. Well, I just said there ain't no wrong, there ain't no right. Only pleasure and pain. Oh boy. Not gonna do any of the heavy mechs here. Wow. It's actually kind of disappointing. Not sure about the theory of a negative, it's just like, feels anticlimactic. I'm not sure if that would be an information negative or a design negative. Or a control negative. It's kind of where my sense of information and or interaction and control. I used to probably be more in interaction. Actually, it's probably where like control, a sense of it's probably like a good argument for interaction over control. Because interaction does like kind of encompass what you get to interact with, and you would expect from a final mission of a free mission arc to have inappropriate boss battle against like the most powerful mech. This could also like this may also deserve an information negative. I mean, not that I feel it has deserves two negatives. It's just that it affects both information and control or interaction, because you have the lack of an interaction with an existing boss that exists in the game. Like, I think both Zaid and Kasumi existed when the game was first released. It was part of the Cerberus Pass thing. I think? Maybe? I actually can't remember. Whatever. Like, there are heavy mech models, because you can see them, like, going out the assembly line. So I imagine they exist in the core game, besides just the DLC. I could be completely wrong. But it's still anticlimactic is anticlimactic. Um, yeah, like the fact that there is no final boss, and I do like write down that like I'm playing on easy mode, I'm playing with the squad at a fairly high level, but the fact remains that there is no real final boss. The game is failing to sell the threat of these bots beyond pure numbers. And I don't feel the threat warranted stealing the facility. Like the game did not sell me on that idea. Like we had like one or two or three, heavy mechs to fight. That would sell me. But as it stands, we don't. And I won't even give it necessarily the fact that they hadn't been introduced until the DLC. Like I think they might be in Miranda's mission. I can't remember. Like maybe we'll see them in another mission, hopefully, so I can like really confirm that they exist. Oh yeah, there was a heavy mech. We encountered one on that planet. It was like helping us get through and blow up all the stuff so we can mine. The heavy mechs do exist, so they could have given us some kind of final boss fight. Instead, it's just a bunch of standard um, dog mechs and Loki mechs. We might try to do one of the I don't remember to feed our fishes. Oh yeah, and talk to her space hamster. Both are incredibly important. Is someone grilling? This late at night? Oh, someone's grilling. I mean, it smells like charcoal, so. But it's 11 p.m. where I'm at, so. Which also means I might call it a night after,
Anomaly detected. Probe away. I have found something.
it's time to slam, and welcome to the jam. We changed our mind. Do you want to leave? Hey, Joker! Joker!
I don't think the ship is safe. We've run into the Geth far too often. I'm going to stay at the next site with Dr. Aloy. I think we'll be safer there.
Primary systems online. Welcome to the M44 Hammerhead Infantry Fighting Vehicle. This is your onboard VI. Caution, guided missile system active. Wired.
I'm not sure we're gonna go all the way through this particular mission.
Let's take a closer look.
Hey, she actually has some voice acting here. It feels just as janky as the Mako, not a little jankier. So I think this might just be the mission to acquire it, so if I'm actually remembering this correctly. We're not getting into something particularly heavy yet. I thought there might be something over there. Nope, there isn't. Okay. Whoa! This is janky. Not sure it's quite where we have a control negative yet. We'll have to see.
Obstruction detected.
Ah.
Recommend using conventional weapons to clear path.
I could be wrong. I don't think I am. I hope I've. This is kind of just a tutorial mission. And it's not very long. It isn't bad as a tutorial goes. Although there is a lot of hazards, so I mean there is a degree of validity to the idea of introducing you to hazards early on. But at the same time, what's the X button doing? It's like it's changing the camera perspective. Okay. I'm not sure if Jenkins alone like qualifies as a negative, because Jenkins can be fun, and Jenkins can be relatively harmless. And so far, it hasn't gotten me killed. So, like, if Jenkins starts repeatedly getting me killed, then I will give it a negative. Because that's the whole point of the interaction negative is if I start failing at things and it doesn't feel like it's my fault, it feels like it's the janky control's fault, then it's negative. Like, that's our metric. If it's just kind of weird and like there, but I mean that's possibly negative, but yeah, I might say that is at least a borderline example. But it's also like this could be an information negative. Potentially, depending on because we see these other paths here that seem to be leading up to something. So okay, so like this is the game kind of indicating that this is where we're supposed to be going. Or the way we're meant to get there. I mean, well, that's the problem with this kind of design.
Mission objectives completed.
Because that's like the trick to this whole thing is, we have like a jump or, I mean, it's a trick to platformers, I guess, in general, or anything where you have like, I guess, traversal mechanics. It's definitely another example of an area where interaction and information kind of intersect a little bit. I mean, that's fine. It's a matter of like, okay, which is more important, which is more critical to the fault, um, or positive, I guess, that we're trying to examine. Because in this case, it's okay. Let me try. I'm trying to figure out how to best state this. Okay, so excuse me if I repeat myself a few times because that's just what I do. Um, I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try to actually gather my thoughts. Um, but the problem with traversal mechanics is that is one control. And like I said, control usually is a matter of when you fail to like make a jump, for example. Because this is a little bit of light platforming basically going on here. Does it feel like it's because you didn't make the timing correctly, or because you're not meant to approach? Like in this case, it's literally I probably well I can confirm this from what I experienced. We were not meant to approach that platform um, from that direction. It looked like we maybe could, and we kind of just barely couldn't make it. But the trick is to through information, you need to convey to the player very clearly that you aren't meant to go to take that approach. Because otherwise the player is going to think, okay, maybe I didn't do it right, or uh, and they're just gonna keep trying over and over again until they like, okay, I don't think this is gonna work. Maybe there's another approach I can try. Like you had to. I think there's a degree to which you also kind of had to make the player feel somewhat confident that um, things are laid out in a way where it's not necessarily going to be that hard to make it from one platform to another if um, you had to design the platforming well enough that the player isn't going to feel like if they're not making a jump that or whatever if they're not traversing um, this is I guess a thing. Like this is an area where no, I don't think that's a good approach to explaining it. So the information is a matter of making it clear to the player when they aren't meant to go a particular direction. And granted, there's often, particularly when we're talking about like the Mako in Mass Effect One, there's an element of you aren't meant to approach it from this particular direction, but you can kind of do it anyway due to how janky it is. And then actually, again, it's an area where the jank can make it a little more fun. Like we're just climbing cliffs, we're making things more difficult for ourselves. There probably is an actual path around to where we need to go. Um, that's a bit of an information negative because there's no. Um, I mean, usually for the textures, they do have slightly some indication of, depending on the planet. Like I think on planets that have like moss and like vegetation growing on things, you can usually kind of tell which areas you have traction on and which areas you can't get traction on. Um, but a lot of the fun of the Baco sections is trying to find paths to your destination, which is not really based on pathfinding. It's just based on the straight direction. And granted, there are benefits to straight directional, like quest marker type things because it can sometimes be good to know the general direction of where your destination is rather than the path you're supposed to take to get to it. I think the path you're supposed to take to get to it is generally more important. Um, though, like that's the better approach. Um, and of course, some games just have like quest markers as like things you can kind of see through walls, which is another way of doing it. Although that's also just a general directional thing. So like how you're supposed to get there isn't always is clear, which is another problem. I mean, Skyrim solves this by having a spell that is explicitly pathfinding based, although it's generally useless and the levels themselves are designed well enough. I'm getting off track. Yeah, this is because um, you can run into situations where you might just barely be able to not make it. That's kind of a problem. You should probably make it. I'm not gonna give it a negative at this point because that's only one example, and I still had enough doubt because of how short I felt of the destination that like it made me feel just enough like I maybe could give it another shot. And I mean, part of that is just because it looked like I could maybe do it the first time. Um, the fact that I felt I could try that approach is a little bit of a problem. Is kind of what I'm saying. And maybe even should have been a little more clear that I couldn't make it at all. Like, no matter how much I tried. But it's a difficult aspect of design. Because there's some potential for immersion gameplay. Like, I almost got over that barrier that I was supposed to shoot down with weapons. I even think there may have been some invisible wall shenanigans involved, um, preventing me from actually getting over there. Um, but anyway, I don't have any negatives or positives at the point. We're going to have to see how it works overall. I will be doing that next time, possibly. I might do other quests first, including Zaid's quest, which is kind of nearby, so maybe I should do that. While I'm in the system. But anyway,
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
I should probably take that in my cabin so I can feed my fish while I'm here. Look at the birds I've covered. And it leads you to a trophy site. Okay. I can just stay here. Tomorrow I should be able to play a little bit more because I don't have to work the next day. So, but anyway, there's a bunch of things you can do to take your time. As I mentioned earlier, I rearranged our Patreon vote for wallet poll, and it should still be functional because I made a post. I'm going to try to actually make posts monthly, just indicating the status of the the Patreon poll, even if no one's donating, just to make sure that Patreon knows that I'm still alive, I guess. But anyway, as little as $1, any little bit will help. And you get to vote and contribute. It's cumulative. It won't be going to waste. Like I said, some things that don't get funded may eventually be played, regardless. But that's like once I start getting a few proper patrons, that's probably not going to be as much the case. But anyway, but also keep in mind that there may be some things that I'll just drop from the list because I don't think there's any interest whatsoever for me to play them. So, yeah, Undertale's kind of up in the air. I may drop it from the list again simply because I have to put the disclaimer that I am strongly considering playing it with a cheat. Although I'm probably going to try to play it legit to start, and then just see how good I am at the. Because I'm doing this review thing, so I kind of need to. It may get a negative for a lack of an easy mode. I feel there is a hard mode. It's a little hidden, but it's there. I feel like if you're going to implement an easy mode, the way I would do it would pretty much be the same way they implemented the hard mode. You name your character Chara, easy mode. Name your character Frisk, is already the hard mode. But I think someone was trolling one of the people who were asking about whether or not there's an easy mode, and we're like, just name your character Frisk. Then I later learned that that's how you activate the hard mode. And I'm not sure how the easy mode would be implemented. It would be very difficult to, besides I guess the Temi armor and however that works. I also looked up how to acquire it legitimately within the game. I don't remember it being there. So if you could acquire it before the bullet hell sections get too awfully difficult, then it's kind of out of the way. There's some side quests involved, and you had to maybe resort to a walkthrough to do it, then to get it. Maybe. I'll probably look into how to acquire it and when to acquire it, or when it is available to acquire naturally. But of course, first I actually had to purchase the game too. But anyway, there's gonna be a lot of caveats involved with the Undertale playthrough. And if I ever publish my reviews in any form, there's going to be cheat flags for anything like that of that kind, of that sort of thing. Because I mean that's part of what Lorena does anyway, and I'm kind of modeling it slightly after that. And I definitely would include cheat flags. Cheat flags are also telling of issues with the game. Like, they are effectively part of the overall review. But even, I would say, even though I would be using cheats potentially at some point, I still can remain really objective because I've watched people legitimately play it. I just would not be experiencing the difficulty in as pronounced a way uh, firsthand. And regardless, I probably would try to play it as much as I can until it just feels like it's so difficult that I don't feel like I can progress. Then I might do the timing armor thing, save it in if I cannot acquire it at all at that point, and then it's also possible that even with that advantage, I may still run into insurmountable issues with the difficulty, and if there are no other cheat options available to me, I may just have to abandon the playthrough. In which case, I may do effectively what I did with 3D Game Heroes and just transfer the funds to something else, either my choice or of the choice of the person or persons who donate towards Undertale. The only reason I'm able to freely reallocate the funds that I have thus far is because the people who contributed towards them are personal friends of mine, and they don't seem to care awful much what I allocate to it. So, although I did do a fair chunk of it toward Saints Row 3, so it's something that I think they'd like me to play. Anyway, enough of that. So there's a bunch of things you can do. Take a few seconds of your time, and other things which are more involved. But of course, regardless of any of that, I thank you for watching. And until next time,